And we're live.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on here, to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect and how it affects them and the price of milk. Thank you.
No, I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to the channel. We're discussing Mandela effects of the light. Thank you for joining in. Welcome all Mandela effectians. It's good to see everyone. I'm back after I guess a couple of weeks. Last weekend I was down in Atlanta. We were at the DragonCon, so that was really something. I got to meet Sean Austin, which his name is Aston now. I didn't ask him about it. I felt like asking him about it, but then again, I didn't want to be weird or anything. I also got to meet Elijah Wood. He was also there.
Oh, cool.
I got a selfie with Sean Austin and his autograph, and he signed his picture saying "Goonies never die," and he addressed it to me, so it was personalized. I thought that was really amazing.
Hey, Brian.
Yes,
Brian. You know Elijah Wood?
Yeah.
Did you know he was in Back to the Future too? He was the kid shooting at the machine at the video game, and when they were in, yeah, that's him, one of the kids.
I had no idea that was him in Back to the Future.
Yeah, you should ask him about that. Ask him how he liked doing Back to the Future too. Yeah, that was him. He was one of the kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how old he is. He's probably about my age. I would think he's. I think he was like really 18 years old when he filmed The Lord of the Rings, when he was in the Lord of the Rings movie.
What was the best experience you had at this thing that you went to? What was the funnest part?
Well, probably the most fun part was when I got the lightsaber. I got a $350 lightsaber for $85. Yeah, I might later on during the show. I might actually show you guys. It's pretty amazing.
Hey, boys and their toys, Brian. Brian, boys and their toys.
Yeah, but anyway, it's the dark blade from the Mandalorian series. Only instead of no blade at all, it shows up as a purple light. So it's pretty awesome.
I love purple. Amazing. I love that's my other favorite color, purple and red. Yes. Hey, can I do a shout out?
Well, hold on 1 second. But real quick, you asked me what the best part was. The other best part that I remember from that place was I got to meet Adrienne Palicki. She's from the Orville TV series. It's on Hulu. It's a Seth MacFarlane production. Uh-oh. I think we lost Teresa. Hold on, we lost Teresa. We'll get her back in here. Sorry, guys. Yes, I got to meet it was Adrienne Palicki and Peter Macon. Peter Macon plays that funny looking faced alien on that show. It was really cool. Yep, there she is.
I don't know what happened. My phone's acting stupid. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah, it was great. And I got to walk around in a Obi-Wan Kenobi outfit. I can probably share that with you guys in a little bit. I'll try to find some.
So, Brian, what's the difference between DragonCon and the other con? There's a couple of it. Comic-Con. What's the difference between these cons?
Well, Comic-Con is mainly comics, and of course, you know, hence the name Comic-Con. And then there's gaming conventions. There's all kinds of conventions. But DragonCon kind of encompasses a little bit of everything. It has something for everybody. And there was some pretty neat like artists that were there too. I had some of the artists like personalized and autograph things that were there. I bought some pieces of artwork, and it was just an all around great experience.
Was this your first time? Was this your first time?
Yeah, my very first time.
Wow.
I heard
Where was it located at? Where was it located at?
DragonCon is in Atlanta.
Ah.
If you're wanting to go, it's usually around Labor Day every year.
Cool.
Yep.
Maybe you can
I
show
saw.
some pictures later, Brian. Maybe you can show some pictures later.
Yeah, I'll go through some of that too if we got some free time. But right
Yeah.
now, we got to cover the regular part of the show that we do right now is where we present items from Teresa Lynch's Mandela Reality Residue Hunters.
Yes.
So that's what segment.
Tell them how to join.
Oh yeah, you just go to the Facebook group and request to join. Make sure you answer all the questions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, don't forget to stick around because at the end of the show, close to the end, we'll be doing another one of those drawings.
Mm-hmm.
This time it's for a $10 gift card.
No.
Yes.
And good luck to whoever wins it. You got a chance, so stick around.
Yep. Everybody
worth
has.
it.
Yes,
Mhm.
everybody has equal chance.
Yep. It's like isn't it the drawing thing like a randomator, a random, what is it called? How it works, like a random thing?
Yeah, it's a random giveaway.
Yeah. It doesn't know who you are. It just randomly picks. So yeah. So everybody has a fair chance. Right, Brian?
Yeah. Yes, it's fair.
I got some strange ones I found. You guys are gonna like
Okay.
these. They're very different. So this one right now that you're showing, I'm sure everybody knows who Data is from Star Trek The Next Generation. Well, I found this today. I didn't even know about this. I'm not saying it's the Mandela effect. I just thought it was interesting. Well, there was a show back in the 70s, very early 70s, and maybe earlier than that, called To Tell the Truth. And the name of the show is this, where you have guest judges who try to figure out who the real person is. So everybody who's like on the panel is trying to figure out who this person is. Well, Brett Spiner, back then, way before Star Trek, happened to be one of the imposters, but it's up to them to figure out who the imposter is. Well, look at this. He was on the show in 1972, and he went by the name Brett Minutes. That was his name before. Yeah, and I never knew about this. I thought it was kind of cool. And that's what he looked like in 1972. Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show you the style of the time. Like that's what people wore, in the 70s, and
yep,
that's pretty cool.
So if you want to find the link, I just don't want you to get a copyright, but I got a link if you want to go find it.
Yeah, that kind of goes along with what we were talking about earlier with the Orville, right about the time when we lost you, where you dropped. I was talking about the Orville. Did I tell you I got to meet Adrienne Palicki, Teresa?
No.
She's like the captain or whatever from there.
Wow. Here's a question: when does the Orville take place? Like the timeline to do with next Star Trek: The Next Generation. Where does it take place? Is it like further in the future, or is it before the original Star Trek with Captain Kirk and all them? When does it take place? That's what I meant. The timeline. I get confused.
With the Orville?
Yeah. When does it take place as far as the timeline goes?
I kind of forgot because when COVID happened, they delayed making a third season, and we were kind of bummed out about it. But yeah, they made another season, season 3, and I asked. I also got to meet Peter Macon, who plays the alien with the funny looking face on there.
Oh, cool.
And, yes, and he says that they're hoping they get a season 4, but it's a Seth MacFarlane production.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to check it out. I've never watched Orville. Is it worth watching?
You've seen Star Trek. Star Trek. It's like Star Trek, but with a lot of humor. It's very funny.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called The Orville, and it's on Hulu.
I'll have to check it out.
Okay. So anyway, this is Teresa. I guess you tagged Sandy and 41 other people in this one, Teresa.
Yeah, go ahead and read it if you want to. And you can talk about the floods, and you can explain what this is. Yeah, we had some really bad flooding here about a week ago. And go ahead and read it, Brian. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, at the Burning Man Festival in Las Vegas, Nevada, The torrential rains and floods in a span of 24 hours created muddy conditions that are ideal for prehistoric animals to emerge, apparently. These three-eyed animals are called triops for their three eyes, and also known as dinosaur, fairy, or tadpole shrimp. Triops have a short and relatively simple life cycle. They start out as tiny eggs and can survive for long periods of drought. It says here that the eggs can last up to 27 years, after which they can still hatch if exposed to water. When these eggs get wet, they hatch into small nymphs. These nymphs grow rapidly, reproducing quickly, and then typically live for a few months. Under the right conditions, these animals can suddenly hatch in large numbers, which is what happened at the Burning Man, where temporary water pools were suddenly formed. So, yeah, that's what they look like, guys. They kind of look like, don't they look like crabs or something like that? They look really.
That's what they look like when
this
they're. See
picture,
how they're tadpoles, Brian? Look at them
yeah.
on the right.
Mm-hmm.
This is what emerged out of the mud and the Burning Man thing. And also, I didn't know if you mentioned this, but a lot of people got stranded there for days because the mud got so bad that even with people's vehicles, they couldn't even drive out of there. So people were scared that they were, people did come prepared. They brought water and food and shelter, but a lot of people got scared because they were kind of stuck there, for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, eventually the mud started drying up enough for the four-wheel drives could get out first. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a scary situation. It could have become a Lord of the Flies thing too, if you know what I mean. But
yeah, well,
they eventually got out. It was so muddy. They were they were up to their ankles in mud.
Yes.
It was bad.
It was in mud. Yes, Michael Fontaine asked, "Is it mud or sand?" General Sorrow says, "Like horseshoe crabs."
Yeah, aren't they weird looking?
Yes,
and they got three eyes, not two
face
eyes.
huggers.
Three eyes.
General Sorrow says, like face huggers. You guys remember face huggers from Aliens?
Yeah, I never heard of these. I didn't know these. Yeah, these came right out of the mud.
General Sorrow says God provides free food. Yeah, I guess if you're desperate, you can eat one of these things. I don't know how good
No,
it would be
thank
for
you. No, thank you.
You know what they kind of look like too is in the Matrix whenever they inject that thing into that poor man's stomach, into Neo's stomach. You remember that?
Yeah.
Remember the Agent Smith dudes?
Yeah. Aren't these weird looking?
Yeah. All right. So let's see the next one here.
I thought it was interesting though. That's yours, Brian. Go ahead.
So this is mine that I brought up here. My goodness. Hey Teresa, would you mind messaging my mother personally and tell her that we are in the middle of the show? I'm presenting here.
I will get kicked out. I'll get kicked out. Do you want?
Well, you want to read this one then? Will you read this one?
Yeah, you go to message her and I'll read it. Prehistoric bird thought to be extinct returns to the wild. Unless you want to click on the link, I can read it. Very unusual looking bird.
Okay. All right. So that's interesting. It kind of looks like a dodo bird.
You want to click on the link? You want to click on the link?
Well, I guess it's
weird
safe
looking.
Since I posted the link, it should be safe, right?
You hope.
Okay. So let's read this article.
Yeah, go ahead. Scroll down so I can read it. Scroll down. I can't see the bottom. It looks like it says right here the recent releases of 18 tahaki birds in the lake. Yeah, you go ahead and read it.
Okay, in the lake, is it Wakatipu? I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's in the valley in New Zealand's South Island holds immense significance. These large, flightless prehistoric bird species were once thought to be extinct. and they had not been seen roaming the slopes for nearly a century. So, let's see. So, I'm trying to skip to some of this here. I don't want to read the whole thing and bore you guys, but there's a success story with these things. But anyway, they were thought to be extinct. That's what I'm basically gathering from this. So they wanted to ensure their safety, and efforts were underway to set up traps and removing pests that pose threats to the bird's survival. Yeah, like I said, they kind of resemble dodo birds. Like if you think about it, like if we were to look up what a dodo bird looks like, see if they look. See, it's kind of there. Well, there's a dodo bird. I always thought they were. Honestly, I thought they were.
Those are cool looking, Brian.
Dodo birds. Yeah. Oh, it is an extinct flightless bird. So this is another flightless bird. I guess that's what I'm thinking that they have in common here, is because this one's extinct and the other one was going extinct. You get my point?
Yeah.
So,
that's neat.
And they don't fly. So
they don't fly.
No, they don't fly. So if you have a famine, let's say on the island or wherever they're staying, how do they escape? You know, you have to think, okay, how do they escape? So they have to do their best at these refuge places. I guess they have them in a refuge to protect them. Okay. Well, anyway, next we have this rare phenomenon called Baikal Zen. These rocks that have fallen on the ice of Lake Baikal are heated by sunlight and emit infrared rays that melt the ice below. Teresa shared this in the group. So once the sun is gone, the ice becomes solid again, creating a small support for the rock above. And it's possible Sandy may have presented this before.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll give her credit for this one.
I think she might have, but I can't remember. She finds so much stuff. I can't keep track.
So was that ice? Is that ice?
Yes, I did. Brian, tell Sandy I did mention Jose. Tell her. With those creatures.
But where did you mention Jose?
At the bottom of the paragraph.
Okay. So where at the paragraph?
At the very bottom of it, I did mention it to him. You didn't scroll down all the way.
No, I'm looking. Are you talking about the one?
No,
with the
not
rock?
that one. The other one, the creatures.
Which creatures?
The Las Vegas ones.
Oh, the Las Vegas ones?
Yeah, go read it and show her. I did too. I mean, you just didn't mention it.
No, we didn't mention it.
No, it was there. No, go back to it. Go back to it.
Okay.
Sandy said I didn't mention it. Go to the
Right
post. Here. No, go to the post at the top.
I'm on the post here, and it says.
And where does it say right there? There you go.
Yes. Huge shout out to Sag Arm Effect. Amazing find. Yes.
There you go. You didn't read that, Brian. So yes, Sandy, it was there. Brian just didn't read it. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Brian, you just didn't mention it. That's what Sandy was saying.
Okay.
All right.
Well, sorry.
Okay, you got it credits now. You got it credit now. Okay, go back to where we were. Sorry, everybody.
That's okay. So, have you guys ever heard of this where rocks are balancing on water like that? It's really weird. It's like it almost looks in these pictures like they're levitating. You know?
Sandy might have found those. I'm not sure. So, Sandy, if you did find them,
okay,
good. That's good that you found them. But I don't know if you found them. But just in case, give Sandy credit, whether she did or didn't. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So the ice. Yeah, so that's what's happening here. The ice was thicker, and then due to the sun, it melted, but it didn't melt all the way. I guess the rocks are able to stay on the ice like that and have a small support.
How does it do that?
I don't know. It's a rare phenomenon.
I thought it was cool. I'm like, no, I want to show that. I thought it was really neat. Oh, that's mine too. For the shit. Brian, scroll back down. Up. Right. Go back up.
No, it's
Right
this is
there.
the one.
No,
For,
go
this is
back
the
up.
one
Go
for
back up.
Anthony.
Go back up.
It's the one for Anthony Rogers, right?
Right. I think Sandy covered this one. Again, Sandy, I think you covered this, but we're going to bring it up again. I think Sandy did find this one, but we're going to cover it again. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, so the Jaws poster has changed again, and the teeth are all crooked now. They were not like that for me, Anthony says. Anyone else remember else like this? And this is a great white shark's teeth. This is Anthony Rogers from the group. He's one of the top contributors.
Yes.
Okay, so the iconic Jaws movie poster.
Sandy said she did cover it. Yes, Sandy did cover this. And for me, the teeth were not crooked like that. They were straight. So yeah, this was a crazy one. But that was a good find, Sandy. I think it was a couple years ago she
said
found
she
it.
covered the stones before and the teeth. Yes, the Jaws
Yeah.
one has. I feel like I've seen this one many
Mhm.
years ago, like probably 4 or 5 years ago when the Mandela effect really took off with Google Trends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I saw this. I thought it was weird, and also not to mention the logo. There was like teeth marks in the logo that was like chomped out of it.
Bite marks. Bite marks.
Yes, the bite marks are gone in the Jaws logo now.
I
It's
do
so
have
weird.
residue for that. If you ever look up Jaws in my group, there's residue.
Yeah.
I found it. It was really hard to find.
Pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so the next one we're talking about here is this the poll? Is this the one where you did a poll in the group?
Yeah, I don't know if you're affected by this one though. It was a poll. Go ahead, you read it.
What year did Red Bull launch for you guys? I have no clue.
Yeah.
I can't answer this one. I'm sorry.
I didn't
Anyone
think I
from the-
voted on this one. So when did it launch? Do we
Hey,
know?
Jeff.
Is Jeff joining us?
Yep, Jeff's here. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Brian. Hey,
Oh.
Teresa.
Hey Jeff, welcome.
Yeah, I know. Analog Lime says it's not the same without Sandy. Yeah, Sandy will be coming. She'll be joining us here
coming.
very shortly.
She's coming. She's always the last one to come.
Yes, but she's the one that's bringing all the entertainment for us tonight. There are some other things that we're covering from the previous couple weeks because I've been gone for a little while, so we'll be covering some of those, which I believe most of you have not seen, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll be sure to cover them.
New stuff. Brand new stuff.
What? Yeah, brand
new stuff. Yeah, brand new. You guys are gonna love it.
Yeah, I hope you've had your coffee and so get ready.
Yeah, and I'm drinking a Coke right now so that I don't fall asleep on you guys like I normally do. So I'm drinking Coke. Hopefully it keeps me awake.
Well, you know what's funny is that there's Coke being mentioned here in these Facebook videos.
Oh, really?
Am I allowed to play these, or are they going to be copyright?
I don't know, Brian. Take that chance. So what is the post about? You want to read it?
It's Star Wars. It's Burger Chef.
I remember these.
From the Burger Chef.
We'd like a Star Wars poster, please.
I knew it. Well, all you do is buy a large serving of Coca-Cola for 49 cents, and the poster's yours.
Artu, look, it's us.
Is that residue for the golden leg?
Yes. Wow. Look at that.
Artu, I think we better leave.
Select all fours.
You know what I keep wanting to hear is Darth Vader say, "Luke, I'm your father."
I know.
Here's the thing. While me and my friend Brandon went to the DragonCon, along the way, I was asking him about some Mandela effects. He's not really affected by a lot of them, but the Star Wars one, he said, "Luke, I'm your father." That's what I remember, and so I said,
"That's a big one."
Yeah,
That's a big one.
Yeah, I said because he doesn't say. I said he doesn't say that anymore, and Brand. It was funny. My friend Brandon's expression. He just kind of looks at me like. He just stared for just a minute, like, okay, wow, you got me stumped, kind of thing.
So he was shocked about it not being I'm.
Yeah, I mean, because
he was shocked.
Every Star Wars fanatic knows that it was Luke, I'm your father, and I mean, if you tell them otherwise, they're going to be like in your face, you know.
What does Mark Hamill remember? What does he remember, Mark Hamill?
Well, it's curious. Do you remember they talk? Back when they did it was a Saturday Night Live special that I know I presented this on my channel, but I got flagged for it. and I think the video may have been removed. YouTube is it's the censorship on YouTube is you gotta be careful about what you say and stuff and what you present for
That's true.
copyright. So yeah, so Mark Hamill actually says, "Luke, I'm your father" on that.
No, you did?
Yes. Well, let me just say, I think it was either him or maybe because he was on a game show. It was like a pretend game show, and he said, "Luke, I'm your father" or whatever. You know,
James Earl
No.
Jones said it.
he
He
did. Say
did?
it.
Yeah, in an interview.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he remembers it, and he would know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So although it was a dragon convention, we did have a lot of Star Wars folks, and I'll actually show you guys. There's a picture of me with a trooper, one of the stormtroopers.
Oh, let's see a picture, Brian.
Yeah, I got to get to my Google Photos.
Okay. And you do have some pictures from the DragonCon you can show, right?
Yes, that's what I'm going to show you guys here.
You should show the autograph, the people who you met. You know, how many people did you get autographs from? 2 or 3?
Hold on one second. Let me find the
All right.
photos. Here it is. These are photos from the DragonCon. Let me get those up. Hold on.
Sounded like it was a lot of fun, and a lot of people were dressed up. Would you say 80% of people dressed up, or more? That dressed. I mean, actually went into costume.
We're talking. There's probably like 29 or 30,000 people that attended.
Well, how many? That's what I'm trying to ask you. Is what was the percentage of people who actually dressed up?
It was quite a bit. Now these are. Hang on. So you guys see this? This is an image. Apparently, this group of people here did the Guardians of the Galaxy theme, and
wow!
I love how accurate some of the costumes are. Like some of them. I think that girl may have actually made her own costume there. The one on the right.
Wow, this is a good costume.
The girl right there, she colored her skin green purposefully to match Gamora. You know.
Wow.
So, yeah, and that guy on the left, he had the Star-Lord mask. He didn't want to wear it in the building. Okay, so there I met somebody that dressed up as Spider-Man.
That's Spider-Man?
Yeah. And there's a panoramic view. This is the line to get your ticket, like your
oh my God.
Your badge, I guess. That was the line to get the badge.
Wow.
So you can see it was pretty crowded. Look how many people were like dressed up and everything. There's the
poster.
Yeah, well, that's actually a booklet that they gave you when you went there.
Oh, so you know what the events were for that day? Oh, I like that one. What is that one?
Yeah, he's Iron Man, but I think he was advertising Pepsi products. You see that?
Yeah.
And this was on one of the street lamps. Because all over Atlanta they had the DragonCon where you could get tickets. So that was
look at the ET thing. There's yep, there's Residue.
I was wearing Residue on my T-shirt for all the
Star Wars
out there.
Wow.
That's downtown Atlanta. That's my sister's friend who was when we met there. That's me and my friend Brandon. He was making a funny face.
I was going to ask you, what was up with that face?
I don't know. But I thought this was interesting because, this was Residue here for Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Where's the spinners? Where's the spinners?
The spinners are on their heads. I don't know if you can
Oh
make
my
that
God,
out.
that's Residue.
Mm-hmm. So
I remember the spinners. I definitely remember the spinners, not stupid flags.
Yes, me too.
Ridiculous.
Now they're wearing flags on their heads.
It looks so stupid.
It does.
Yep.
It was always spinners because they would spin around.
Yep.
Yes, I didn't go there looking for Mandela effects specifically, but they just kind of popped out in my attention. My radar.
It was trying to get your attention, Brian. That's why it was doing that.
I kept looking for. See, I found these two. This pair from Scooby Doo. I guess, but I kept looking for Shaggy with the neck with his.
Hi, Tobin. Tobin says hi to me.
I saw Batman hanging out with Indiana Jones.
Ooh. Wow, look at the wow, you got some good pictures. What's this?
Oh yeah, that's
oh, that looks good.
Tater
what is
tot
that?
Chicken tenders.
What's that? What was that green thing on top?
Which green thing?
The long thing in the front. It looks like a pickle. What is that? Like in the corner.
it's-
What is that long thing?
No, that's not a pickle. That's a chicken tender with
Oh, never mind.
honey mustard sauce.
Oh wow.
So there's this is basically these are some of the vendors that were there. You know, they sell like customized stuff for video gamers and
Oh,
Journey
that
to
is
Dragon.
cool.
Yeah, we actually got to sit down and play Dungeons and Dragons. So that was kind of cool. You
What's
see
all
these little-
this?
these are pops, like those Funko Pops that people buy. This
Yeah,
person
those are-
collects them and sells them.
Yeah, those are
I was-
collectibles.
Yeah, I was able to find an Elijah Wood one. It was a super rare one. It
Uh-huh.
was Comic-Con exclusive. I bought it. I found that for that. This right here is for
Doctor Who.
Esther loves Doctor Who, so I took that picture for her.
Are you sending it to
there's-
her, Esther? Are you sending it to her?
What, the picture? I sent the picture to her.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. So look, this is like a wood. It's like they burned it into the wood. I thought that was kind of cool. Like for Lord of the Rings fans, that was really cool. There's me and Crazy Ed and and my friend Brandon. This guy was nice. He put together a binder that had all the signatures from the well, it had 5 of the actors from The Big Bang Theory.
Wow.
I got 5 of their signatures in one binder, and it came along with a first season DVD. That was kind of cool.
Was anybody from the Big Bang Theory there? Because that would have been cool to meet them. Any of them there?
No, unfortunately not. But they have these events every year, so maybe we'll get more actors to come next year. We'll see.
That's pretty cool.
Like I said, this is my first time. This they sell like fantasy guns here, fantasy weapons. They're just movie props, you know, like from different movies.
Look
like
at the Back to the Future Out of Time.
Oh,
You see
look at that! Look at that! Oh man, you see that? They have the idol from Indiana Jones. How much was she selling that?
Whoa.
45. Yeah, remember that from Indiana Jones?
Yeah, but supposedly it changed. There was some Mandela effect to do with the idol. Remember?
Yeah, I remember it looking like a monkey, and I know other people do too. Now it's like a pregnant goddess about to give birth to a
Exactly.
baby.
That is a huge Mandela effect. It was definitely different.
I was going to buy the Ecto 1. And see, I always thought it was Ecto 1. It's Ecto 1A. I don't remember Ecto 1A. Do any of you guys remember Ecto 1A from
No, that's the Mandela effect, Brian. That's the Mandela effect.
Yeah, it was Ecto 1, guys. Tell me.
Yep,
Please.
it wasn't Echo 1A.
This is Out of Time, OUTA time, and I bought that license plate to put on the
You
front.
did? How much was it?
It wasn't that much. I think it was like $15.
Not bad.
$15.
Good collector's item.
And I met
Who's
this
this
guy
guy?
here. I loved his costume. He was like he was doing D&D stuff, and I bought a necklace for my daughter that has it's one of those it's sort of like a locket almost where it has a clear case on the front. And when you open the clear case, there's like dice that's inside of it.
That is cool.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I saw that R2D2, and I thought I'd get a picture of that. You see the R2D2's been affected too. He's got like 3 of those cameras. They look like camera lenses on his head. He's got 3 of them now. He used to have just 1. But yeah, this is more pictures. There's Captain America, and there's I don't know who that is. Is that Captain British man? What is his name?
It's Mandela, Brian. It's Mandela. See it?
Yeah. I was hoping to find Residue here for that, but unfortunately, this one's been Mandela.
Yep.
You see this? It kind of looks like a pinwheel instead of
the
red.
That one definitely is wrong.
Yeah, I know. And then we saw this Lego, right? These Legos. You see, they put together like a Pikachu and like Mario Brothers characters. I thought that was pretty amazing.
Was Pikachu Mandela? Did he have a black tip tail, or was he Mandela?
Well, he didn't have the black tail. It was all yellow. Oh man,
that sucks. That would have been awesome if you would have found Residue.
tribute to Master Chief there. You know, Master Chief
Yep.
from Halo, and then look, there's your Star Wars and Mandalorian stuff. Darth Maul. Check out that Darth Maul. Isn't that pretty accurate?
That is cool.
Yeah.
These are amazing.
Yeah, if you look at the prices on some of these, let's just look real quick. $400. If you want one of these busts, $400. That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
The one thing I did like was the Tony Stark thing down here at the bottom. I'm not sure if you see that, but it's his heart. Tony Stark has a heart. It said proof that Tony Stark has a heart on the.
How much was it? How much was the heart?
I think it was $189 or something like that.
Wow.
Look, and there's Thor. They had a Thor hammer and a Legend of Zelda sword, and then they had a bunch of lightsabers that they put together, Legos. I thought that was kind of cool. The Iron Man statue.
More people.
Yeah, this
You
is some
took
of
a
the
lot of
artists.
pictures, Brian. You took a
I
lot
did.
of pictures.
Yes, these are some of the artists that would not only sell their artwork, but they sign it for you. You know, like and I thought that girl was kind of cool looking with her. She looked like a pan or whatever. She looked kind of cool.
Cool. Oh, there's this.
Guys, please post in the comments if you know what that's from. I have no idea what character she is playing. But there's my lightsaber. That's my
That is
lightsaber.
cool. I love the purple, Brian. That's neat.
Yes, it's from the Mandalorian, and it makes the sound effects. That was my costume. That's what I wore the next day. There's
What the heck?
Then this is the next morning. That is I think she's dressed up as Frodo, maybe. Yeah, because she has the Lord of the Rings ring around her neck. She was playing Frodo. There's me and my friend Brandon again.
Role playing, right, Brian? You and your friend were role playing.
Yeah, it gets better, I promise. But there's me and the Stormtrooper. I don't know if you can see that. That's me and the
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Now he actually had the voice modifier on his mask, so he sounded just like a Stormtrooper. And this is the pictures I took. I was very quick to snap these because I didn't want to make it seem too obvious. But there's Sean Austin / Aston, and there's Elijah Wood to the right, and you can see there was a long line, a very long line for Sean Aston.
Wow.
Elijah Wood was quick. It only took 5 minutes to get through the line for him, but it took an hour for Sean Aston, if that says anything. And we met some more people dressed up as fantasy characters. I believe this guy's from Lord of the Rings, maybe too.
There's Sean.
There. Oh yeah, there's.
Aww, he looks the same, just older. How old is he now, Brian? Sean Aston.
Hang on a second. I can't get it to. I'm trying to get it to zoom to go up.
There you go.
There's me and Sean Aston right there.
Is he in his 50s? You know how old he is now? Because he was young in the Goonies.
Wow. Elijah Wood, they were both really nice. I got the selfie. You cost more for a selfie. If you want a signature and a selfie, it does cost a little bit more for the selfie. I did not get a selfie with Elijah Wood, but that is him right there.
Wow.
And he was gracious enough to take my Lord of the Rings special Frodo out of the protector, and then he signed it on the front, and then he put it back in the case for me.
Oh, that is cool.
Very nice people. And there's, I don't know if you guys can see this.
He was so young.
Let me see if I
Mikey.
can larger. Okay. Can you guys see that better?
Yeah.
That was like the highlight of my trip right there. He Sean Aston, Austin, whatever, he said, Brian, Goonies never say die, and he signed it for me.
Aww.
That was awesome. And that's me and Adrian Palicki.
Palicki.
Yeah.
Was she nice? Was she a nice lady?
Yes, but I could have sworn her name had 2 L's in it. I could be wrong.
Who's she?
She is from the Orville. She played one of the commanders on the ship of the spaceship on the Orville.
That's cool.
She was really nice. And there's Peter Macon. I got a picture with him. There's me in my Star Wars uniform. Or Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He seemed pretty nice.
Yeah. There's me and Brandon. We faced off a couple times, you know, for pictures and stuff.
Why does your sword look like different colors? It wasn't
Oh, wait,
purple sometimes.
That's a good one right there. We also went to the Hard Rock Cafe and we met. I think her name is it Tiara or what from the frog, the Princess Frog.
No.
I think so. She was dressed up as her, and there's a messy chicken sandwich. This guy was on TV and he made our sandwiches.
No.
Yeah, it's
God,
basically
that looks good.
Imagine a double chicken sandwich with like Asiago cheese on it and everything. It was delicious.
I bet it was.
I met Ahsoka. Someone was dressed up as Ahsoka.
Wow. Love the makeup.
Okay, and this is a video. If it'll load, I hope.
Oh, wow. Guys, thank you so much. That's nice. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can actually. They told us when we got those lightsabers, they told us you can whack a tree with it. It won't hurt the blade. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
You guys are crazy.
They're called Ultra Sabers. Never heard of it before, but okay. This is where we played D&D. This is the hotel where we were at, where the D&D was taking place. There's a panoramic view you can see. And they had
Did you actually stay at that hotel, or did you stay at a different hotel?
No, we stayed at an Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
And there's
Wow.
I took a picture of the elevator in this place. It looks so cool, like something out of Cinderella or something, or looks like an onion, going
That's
up the
cool.
shaft. Yeah, there's someone was dressed up as Barbie. I thought that was neat. We were supposed to do. There was a scavenger hunt, so you had to like take pictures of certain characters, and if you brought the piece of paper to them, they give you a prize.
Huh.
This is like battle bots. They were these guys were battling robots. Like, you know how you see robot wars? See if I can find I'm not going to bore you guys with this stuff. Go out of here.
That's cool.
I'll show you the good one. I'll show you the real good one real quick. Okay, where is it? That one was pretty good, but this was the best one to me. Check this out.
Right.
The one on the right wins. That's They actually made a robot spider like that. Look at how they're fighting. And right here on the right, look at that. Oh man, see that he bring them out? Look how simple that one was. Yeah, it's so cool. So yeah. We got to meet let's see, who is this guy? Tom, can you hear me, Teresa?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Tom Fleming. He's an artist from Marvel, and he did WWE and WWF artwork for. See, those are all his pieces of work. He actually worked for Marvel Comics and did a few. He did some artwork for them and stuff. I thought that was amazing. There's me and him. We donated blood that day, so that's why I'm wearing that little cuff thing, that bandage. And for donating blood, they give you a free T-shirt. What this is? I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, this is some artists. These are the artworks where people can you can buy the artwork and the artist will sign it for you. Is that everything? That might be everything. I'm sorry. I think that's it. I think that's the end of the Google Photos for that. So yeah, pretty awesome stuff. What do you guys think?
I'm glad you had an amazing time. You got to meet people. You got to get autographs. You got some collectible items. So you had a great time. That's good. That was cool. You got to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why I was out last week. But so we got some catching up to do. Jeff, do you know where we left off, perhaps?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. You want to do a few shout outs, Jeff, or something while you're there? You want to do a couple shout outs?
Shout outs.
Yeah, let's see.
And you can talk about your dad's birthday too, Brian.
Yeah, well, yeah. Today was my dad's birthday. We had fun. We
happy birthday to your dad.
Yeah, we had a cake and we went out to eat. It was nice. My dad is 74 years young today. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. So where did we leave off?
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm pretty sure. Car. Weather and clouds, we did that. Okay, so August 24th, it looks like we did some stuff there. We talked about the yin yang stuff. We covered Beastie Boys?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're into the Titanic. Did we talk about that? The Titanic.
We talked about that, yeah.
But not on here, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember covering the Titanic. And this was on
Brian,
September.
we did talk about it. We talked about the different color shells that they found.
Yeah.
We talked about that because that was mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about Sag Arm, the Stone of Mecca? Did we cover the Stone of Mecca? I don't think we covered that one. I think this is where we left off.
We did. No.
I don't think we did.
Okay. Okay, well, go ahead and present. All right, you guys. All right. So yeah, thanks for bearing with us. So credit.
Sandy said to cover Titanic again. Let me see. No, cover Titanic again. You did not cover it. Yes, you did.
Thought we did.
I know we covered it because I was. Yeah, no. We covered it.
Yep.
We do cover it because remember we were looking at the colors. I know we covered it because I remember watching it.
Well, she might have. There's a chance. Ask her. Did she add some stuff to it? Because sometimes she'll add to her folders. Ask her if she's added something.
No, because remember when we were trying to figure out, she was talking about the different colors in the sky.
Yes. Yes, I have to give credit here to Sag Arm Mandela effect here. Millions of Muslims make a pilgrimage to Mecca every year, with the first and final stop of their journey being the Kaaba, which houses the Holy Stone. Now, question number one, where did the Holy Stone come from? Was it A, meteorite that fell from Saturn? Was it B, a meteorite that fell from heaven? Or was it C, an angel that God placed in the Garden of Eden to guard Adam? Which one is it, guys? And if you've seen the show, or if you've seen Sandy present this on her channel, please put what you posted in her channel, okay? Oh, okay. So Gerald Neal says, wake up or else is live streaming right now. That's why low attendance. Yeah, I'm wondering about that because we usually have typically like 40 people watching at any given time. And we're at 14. So guys, yeah, get the message out if you can. Yeah. Okay, Sandy says there is more to the colored smokestack, so we will be covering that next, okay? We're gonna go back to the Titanic. Kind of like in the movie, you know how they say, let's go back to the Titanic. You get it? All right. So I'm not seeing any answers yet, guys. Well, I see two answers. Pushing button says B, question mark. Philo says A. Hey, Philo, by the way, good to see you. What do you guys think? All right, anybody? So far we got A and B. Anyone for C? I don't remember C at all. TD Mage firmly says B. Is that your final answer? Anyone? Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. All right. So here's the other question before we answer that one. So what color is the Holy Stone of Mecca, black or red? In my memory, it was always black.
I can't comment on this because I have no idea of any of it.
What's the question again?
Well,
The Holy Stone of Mecca.
what color is the Holy Stone of Mecca?
I don't know this one, so I'm out of this one. I don't know.
Okay.
If I was to guess, I would guess it's black, maybe.
Yeah,
Just
most
guessing.
of you guys, Noise Guru says 2. I guess 2 being the middle one. General Sorrow says black. Push a button, black. Michael says the whole thing seems bizarre. It's black. So still black. Last I heard. Philo says black. DD74 says same. Let's see what the answer is. Okay, but first we have another question. Question 3. The stone is surrounded by silver for protection. Which encasement size do you recall? Was it thick or thin? Thick or thin? It seemed like if you're going to surround it for protection, logically you want it to be thicker, right? I mean, that's what I would assume. But some people, let's see. So General Saros's right-hand side. And by the way, we picked up apparently 7 new viewers. Welcome. If you're just now joining us for tonight, welcome everyone. General Saros says thin. Mikado says thick. This is one I chose before. Okay. Update 2. While creating this presentation, the silver rim around the stone changed from a smooth oval to a pointed oval. The edge of the frame protrudes more now with a thin oval in the middle too. So I wanted to ask, which shape, not thickness, do you remember? Do you remember the oval or the eyeball shape looking one there on the left? Which one do you remember? I don't remember the shape of it, I'll be honest with you guys. But I do remember the color being black the whole time. Like, Philo says the one on the left. Jeff, are you there?
Yeah.
Which one of these do you remember?
I don't know any of this. I can't comment on it.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't this in Jerusalem?
Me too, Brian. I'm not. I got to stay out of this one.
Because they visit the stone in Jerusalem. Okay, so question 4: which size Kaaba best matches your memory? See, I don't know this one. I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I don't really know. I can't say. So was it small or large?
This is the kind of stuff I don't pay any attention to, so I wouldn't know one way or another.
Okay, so Mecca, General Star says Mecca. So Noise Guru says not Jerusalem. Okay. Let's see. We have some answers here. Michael says large. Got one. General Soros is the one on the left, so I'm assuming that's the small. We have Philos is large. General Soros is small. Okay. All right, we can go on. So the Holy Stone is housed in the Kaaba, the holiest site in the Muslim religion. It is a building at the center of the holiest mosque in Mecca. I have no idea about this one, but Jose is adamant that nothing is right about this mosque or the stone inside it. He doesn't even remember the columns encircling the Kaaba in the center of the mosque. So Jose remembers number 2. The size of the building was much smaller in Jose's past, and it was a cube approximately 10 feet high. But in this reality, it's not even a cube. It's 50 feet high, and the base is 35 by 40 feet. You remember it being this large and asymmetrical? I do not, actually. I remember the cube being smaller. So he also remembers the Kaaba being all black. However, it's actually made of gray stone, but covered by a heavy curtain. And it's possible that at one time it was all black, but I have not been able to find it that way. Does anybody else remember the covering being all black? So here's another update. Do you remember all black? The covering or kiswa has never been all black. The kiswa is changed every year. The color and pattern are changed by the caliphs and rulers, so colors can stay the same for years to centuries, but it has never been a solid color with no decorative patterns. So it's like it changes, it's like a fluid thing. They change it like every year for the new Islamic year, I guess. So anyway, so here's the thing. It's not meteorite from Saturn. So Islamic tradition holds that the black stone fell from Jannah to show Adam and Eve where to build an altar, which became the first temple on earth. Muslims believe that the stone was originally pure and dazzling white, but has since turned to black because of the sins of people who touch it. So the accepted belief, number 1, is that it's a meteorite from heaven or Jannah. So another tradition says that the black stone was originally an angel that had been placed by God in the Garden of Eden to guard Adam. See, that's the accepted belief number 2. How could you have 2 different beliefs? That's strange. But anyway, the mythology around the stone has 2 stories that are both different from Jose's memory. He remembers a meteorite that fell from Saturn. However, 2 and 3 cannot both be found as the stone, as how the stone arrived on Earth. But the most interesting part for me is the color of the stone. It's named the Black Stone of Mecca. Muslims believe the stone was originally white, but turned black from absorbing all the sins from people who touched it. And while the stone appears black in most images, high-definition photos were recently released from Mecca showing an entirely different picture. Look at that. So is it not really black? I don't know. That's weird. So the stone is actually red with bits of multiple colors mixed in. How can the color look so different in hundreds of photos? You see the photos, 1977 versus 2006 versus 2011. You guys hear me? Teresa and Jeff, you're silent. Anyway.
You're fine, Brian.
Okay. Did anyone know that there are actually 2 stones in the Kaaba? The black stone and the Al-Rukn Al-Aswad is in the corner going through the wall for visitors to touch to have their sins absorbed or forgiven. Here is where we get confused. I'm hoping a Muslim can clarify this because I'm sure I will get this wrong. The other stone is the Hajar Asada, or the stone of felicity. The only information I could verify is that it sits opposite the black stone in the Yemeni corner. So there's an image of a deep black stone in the Kaaba surrounded by gold, but I do not know if it is the opposite side of the black stone or the stone of felicity. But just like the black stone, the Yemeni corner is touched or kissed to have pilgrim sins forgiven. The cornerstone is left uncovered and made up of a special kind of concrete that is be reinforced the same way for thousands of years to prevent the stone from disintegrating. Like I said, this is all new information for me, Sandy says. But for those of you who are familiar with the Kaaba and stones, is any of this information new for you? Do you remember the large Kaaba and the stone being red? I don't remember being red. Let us know in the comments, guys, and thank you again to Sajar Mandela Effect for sharing his find. So the shape of the silver rim before it changed Sandy says on 8/31/23 versus the shapes in the images now. So that was it before, and now look how it's shaped. The shape is now has a pointed top and bottom, and another obscene shape pattern we continuously see with the Mandela effect. So
Sandy actually said it changed while she was doing the presentation. The shape actually changed on her.
Wow. Well, what kind of pattern was she seeing? Obscene, some kind of obscene shape.
It was more round, and now it's what we're looking at here.
Right, but what is the obsceneness about it? I'm trying to understand. Maybe she could answer that for me. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't see anything obscene about it. But yeah, this is all interesting stuff, guys. I don't know much about this, to be honest with you. You guys know where I stand, but I'm not gonna down any other faith or anything. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, next one. Give me 1 second to transition, you guys. Okay, so we're going to go back to the Titanic. We're going to talk about that for just a few. Is Sandy back in the? Do you know if she's in the?
I don't know. Let me go check the chat.
I don't see her yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, here we go. So credit part 1 is Teresa Lynch. Part 2 is Sandy. When it comes to the Titanic, many things have been Mandela. The smoky stacks, the movie, even the overall design of the ship. This time it's the actual sinking that's got a lot wrong with it. And notice I guess Sandy was pointing out the oddly shaped letters. You guys see the L looking all weird, like a U shape, and then the A and the R looking kind of weird there. And also the TIT is merged there. Anyway, when the Titanic started to sink, what color flares do you remember being sent off? Red, white, blue, green, or none? Anybody remember? I'll pause so you guys can answer in the chat.
This is another one of those things I never really paid much attention to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was never really interested in the Titanic, the movie, or anything related to it.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. Teresa, would you mind, or Jeff, are you able to read some of the answers in the chat?
In your chat?
What, Brian?
Yeah, well, just you can do from Sandy's chat. It's fine. Whatever you can check it out there too.
I don't see Sandy in the chat no more.
Let's see.
She was there. I don't know where she's at.
General Sorrow says, don't know much about the Titanic. Philo says, I don't remember.
Okay.
No idea, says TD Mage 20.
Okay, well, Michael says, oh, the movie, I'm not sure. I think it was green.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandy should be back here soon. Michael says the movie was very important to me at the time. Yes, it was a cool movie. It came out in the 90s. I actually read a story about a woman who actually saw the movie at the theaters. She watched it like 46 times. I'm not joking.
I couldn't get through it once.
I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. And, you know, I guess she let go. That kind of made me sad. Anyway, in 2021, the box of rockets, flares aboard the Titanic were found. However, it is being inaccurately described by many sources, including major networks like CBS. So the Titanic flares, if you look closely, you can see different colors. The image of the flares has been circling the internet, stating the colors on board were red, green, blue, and white. But according to the manifest, this isn't blue. It's not true. According to the manifest, the colors observed from brass corrosion in the seawater. The white, it says here, no international standard for distressed rockets. Back in 1912, the Titanic was supplied with 36 silvery white rockets. The White Star Line supplied the Titanic with two color flares: the green, the White Star Line color for their ships to identify themselves, and silvery white to be used for many distress signals, or for any distress signals. So images showing a white flare are accurate to this reality. If you remember learning or seeing in documentaries and films that the flares were a color other than white, this could be a possible Mandela for you. And notice how we talked about the smokestacks changing. They were red, now they're yellow. It's really odd to me. If you don't recall seeing any flares at all, this is also a Mandela effect for you. But there are two things that I find interesting about the flares that could also be a change to history. That the color of the flares did not matter at all. Number one, and number two, despite green and silvery white being the colors on board the Titanic, there are first-hand reports of other colors being shot off that night. So someone says here, I did not take no particular notice of the color, sir. Some were green, some were red, and some were blue, all kinds of colors. And some were white, sir, I think. If I remember rightly, they were blue. And someone says, no colored rockets. After being asked, they were only white. So the first class passenger, Arthur Puchin, says, a good deal like any ordinary skyrocket going up and breaking into different colors flying down. So yeah, there's stuff here saying that they were different colors. The fourth officer said just white stars bright. So the second officer says principally white. And then you have a Californian second officer saying that they were all white, just white rockets. So, and then you had another Californian second document, Ernest Gill, says they looked to me like to be pale blue or white. So these are first-hand reports from the survivors and the crew of the nearby ships. The Carpathia in California, some were called white, and others colors. Some stars, others balls. Why is there so much variation? Okay, sorry. Felt like I was about to sneeze. So distress flare colors. I'm still confused about the issue of the distress flares and what color they were supposed to be. The CBS 1996 CBS Ministries had a scene where Captain Smith complains about the rockets being white, not red, for distress. Then there's a whole issue of Captain Lord of the California not responding because the rockets were not red. So yeah, distress signal, rockets or shells throwing red stars fired one at a time in short intervals. So the captain of the Titanic may have prevented their rescue by ordering the flares be set off at 5 to 6 minute intervals. Some accounts state that as much as 8 minutes were between each flare. That's too long. So so I decided to do some Googling, and to my direct knowledge, there was no international standard for distress rockets back in 1912. It looks like We saw this earlier, but per the rules and regulations of the day, the rockets could be of any color. These signals could be fired at 1 minute intervals. Titanic's rockets were fired at roughly 7.5 minute intervals. So then down below it says here, did not recognize that they were distress rockets because of the interval they were fired. Most importantly, like I said earlier, it wasn't the color that mattered. It was the interval between the flares that would signal distress. It was like a form of Morse code. The nautical standard for needing rescue was strictly 1 minute intervals between flares. That is a huge difference from the 5 to 8 minute intervals that the Titanic was setting off. So it was not the color, but the timing of the flares that made other ships ignore the Titanic's call for help. So 1 minute was the recommended, and you think the captain would know better, right? You know, and the ship's firing them off. So you see, there's just more evidence here showing that. And so it says here, of course, while researching this, I came across more things that do not match my memory. So I have a question, and then I need to show you a new reality that is appearing. So you see this? Most of us can picture the Titanic sinking from the movie of the same name. But in your memory, how did the Titanic sink? Did it split in half before or after it went underwater? Did it split from the ocean pressure or the weight of the water? One or two? I know that's kind of a loaded question there, but it's like a two-part question. So first of all, let me ask you again. How did the Titanic sink? Did it split in half before or after it went underwater? Or did it split from the ocean pressure of the weight of the water, one or two? Which one is it? I can just hear the Celine Dion music in the background. You know, the My Heart Will Go On. Okay, so it split. Michael Russum says it split after. I also had somebody else tell me that it split before. Okay, Oiler Greg says it broke on the surface and it sank in pieces. Well, let's find out what the real answer is here. So in the movie, it clearly shows the ship breaking in two before the second half sinks, while the 1958 version, A Night to Remember, shows the ship sinking vertically in one piece. I have a memory of both. Sorry, I'm trying to mute that. I apologize for it being loud, guys. These things play automatically when I present them. So this is the 1958 version, A Night to Remember. So the ship sinks vertically and all in one piece in this movie. Yeah, I think it's pretty amazing how they filmed it too. Like, you know, I always find it interesting with movies how they filmed them before special effects. You know, before computers. You know, that's pretty cool. So Manscuse alert. Okay. Discovery of the ship in 1985. The film portrays the ship sinking in one piece, when in fact the Titanic broke into two pieces as it sank. This is because people did not believe that the Titanic split, even though survivors remember seeing the ship split. White Star Line denied it, and if it was true, the public would not think the Olympic-class liners were structurally sound. That's probably why they didn't talk about the split. Yeah, so the split was proven in 1985 when the bow and stern were found in two pieces, about a third of a mile apart at depth of 12,500 feet. So until the ship was found in 1985, it was widely believed that the Titanic sank as a full ship, which explains why the two movies show the sinking differently. Now, isn't it interesting? What about that? There was a submarine that, right? Weren't there these billionaires that went down there in the ocean? Weren't they trying to go down and look at the Titanic before they died from the pressure of the water? You guys remember that recently? Jeff or Teresa? Guys, can you hear me?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
No, what I'm saying is, so what was that whole submarine thing about? You remember those rich billionaires that went down there and then they all died or something from the
Yeah,
water?
the thing imploded.
Yeah, but
Remember, because they
what were
were
they?
trying to go too deep, and the pressure got to
Right.
it, I guess.
What were they trying to look at? Was it the Titanic? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, they wanted to go look at the Titanic, but the problem was, I guess, the material of what the submarine was made out of wasn't strong enough, and it just wasn't good enough to get all the. I mean, that thing is what, like 12,000 feet to get down there to see the Titanic, the depth. I don't know. Why don't
Yeah.
you Google how deep it is, the Titanic? Google what the depth is.
It says right here in the image that I'm presenting. It says 12,500
Oh,
feet.
right.
That's crazy.
But
So
that's the thing is it went straight down, and it broke in half. But at least in the movie, you see them. It breaks and falls in the water, right? Remember in the movie,
yeah,
and they're
that,
still hanging on, and then eventually the boat, the half of the boat, gets sucked under. Because remember, he says to her, we're going to be sucked under. You need to hold your breath. You
yeah.
remember? He says, hold your breath. And then he starts counting 10, 9, whatever he does, he counts down. So supposedly in the movie, it broke off first and started bouncing around. And then the other half got sucked under. So what are they saying now that it did? I'm just going by what the movie said. I don't know what happened in real life, but supposedly James Cameron, the one who directed the movie, supposedly he did all these studies and everything before he actually did the movie. So wouldn't he know if he went through all this trouble to make a $1 million movie, millions of money? Wouldn't you think he would have researched all this, right?
I'm not real sure. But Sandy's just joined us. Hey, Sandy.
Hi.
Hey, I'm not sure. Maybe you could add some more, or actually bring this to light a little bit better. But we're talking about the man's excuses behind it. Is that number right, Sandy? That 2078, the year?
No. That was them they were just joking around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's more likely now to have split under the water due to the massive pressure under the water than on the surface. So why did it split? And did the split surprise you in the 1997 film when you first saw it? It surprised me because at the time I believe it sank in one piece. I remember it sinking in one piece. Don't you? So Sandy says this may sound like a stupid question, but what caused the Titanic to sink? Notice the coloring on the smokestacks here is residue. It's red. However, they're yellow now in this timeline. So yeah, the Titanic timeline. Yeah, so I believe this could be the biggest Mandela effect of all concerning the Titanic. If you ask me, why did it sink? I would say because it struck an iceberg. That has not changed. It did strike an iceberg. However, in this timeline, the Titanic should have survived the iceberg. There was a additional reason that not only explains its sinking, but also explains why it split in two on the surface of the water, a reason that has been around since 1912.
But wait, there's another reason now too. Michael Fontaine sent me a video about the Titanic, and now they're also saying that the rivets are the reason why it failed. That it broke at the seam because they cheaped out and got number 3 rivets instead of number 4. And the difference between number 3 and number 4 is that the slag inside first of all, half the rivets were made of steel, which is what you're supposed to use. The other half were made of iron. And number 3 iron has more slag in it, so more impurities than the number 4. Yeah.
I thought it had to do with that there was a fire in the boiler room, because I posted that a long time ago that there was like damage done to the boiler room and it weakened the outside of the ship, which is what another reason why.
That's what we're asking right now.
Yeah, I had
And now
posted that a long time ago in my group, and you didn't know that, Sandy.
No,
I had
but there's
posted that.
also, Teresa, but there's also pictures of it now. Like actually, like when you look at pictures of the Titanic, you can see it.
There's like a big dark spot on it. Yeah, they actually showed pictures.
But what
I
I'm
did
trying
post
to
that.
explain is they're saying it's not the fire. They're saying it's the rivets. So like I was saying, I was in the middle of saying,
Never mind.
Number 3 iron rivets have more impurities.
Yes.
They fail. A woman actually did she's a metallurgist, I believe. She did an experiment where she actually replicated the rivets of the Titanic, both steel and number 3, and showed that the number 3 rivets failed with very little pressure. And she believes that's why the Titanic tore open the way it did, is because of the number 3 iron rivets that failed and popped off. So they were saying it wasn't the fire, it was the rivets. So this whole part is now inaccurate.
Wow.
So
and see, we thought this whole time it was because it hit the iceberg.
Well, now it is because it hit the iceberg. But the reason why it failed was because they cheaped out on the rivets, just like they cheaped out on the lifeboats. That's just reality.
Well, anyway, in your past was the maiden voyage of the Titanic sailing with an uncontrolled fire that burned for 4 to 5 days. What are the answers from the chat, guys? What do you put there? Let me see if we got some yeses or nos here.
And Teresa, I pretty much credited you for the whole thing except for the very end. This is all your credit. It doesn't matter. The thing that I'm covering is at the very end.
Okay, let's just go ahead. We'll go ahead and proceed because we are trying to move things along. In this version of history, the fire has always existed. The White Star Line tried to cover it up. The iceberg struck the exact spot where the fire was burning, which affected the structural strength of the steel and made it more vulnerable to tearing. So the mountain of ice may have happened to strike the exact spot where the hull had been weakened by a coal fire blazing in the bowels of the ship. It says here, but after more than a century, a new documentary offers evidence that the iceberg wasn't the only reason of the sinking of the unsinkable ship. Instead, the floating mountain of ice may have happened to strike the exact spot where the hull had been weakened by a coal fire blazing in the bowels of the ship.
So, for decades, we have been told that an iceberg sunk the Titanic. It has been documented time and time again. But now the ice that we thought brought down the unsinkable ship may have actually been fire. Is the world's most famous iceberg...
Iceberg, right ahead!
...being put on ice?
Iceberg, right ahead! Understood!
Did fire and ice team up to sink the Titanic? That's what a new documentary scheduled to air later this month on the Smithsonian Channel says.
New evidence of an overlooked incident afflicting the super ship.
Look at this anomaly in the hull.
Wow. Titanic expert Seanan Maloney says recently uncovered photos show a 30-foot mark on the Titanic's hull.
The first thing that struck us was that this is the exact location, not only where the iceberg strikes, but also where there had been a spontaneous coal fire all through the maiden voyage in 1912.
Maloney says surviving firemen from the ship spoke about the fire when they reached land.
Quoted every one of them as saying that there was a serious fire on board.
Even if we never heard about it from Leonardo or Kate, more like frying below decks. It's believed the coal fire had burned for days as crew members tried to put it out.
That level of temperature is robbing the steel. It's turning it soft, so it's losing 75% of its strength.
Weakening the hull right where the iceberg hit. So was the iceberg getting a bad rap?
It was not the iceberg acting alone. The iceberg had co-conspirators, if you like.
It would be ironic if fire would take some of the heat off the iceberg. And this fire theory apparently isn't new. It's been smoldering for years now. It was even addressed briefly at the official inquiry, but was played down as a possible cause for actually sinking the ship.
My mind is blown.
It's fascinating.
Crazy.
For sure, yeah.
Wow.
So, you know,
Wait, I need to say something here. I'm putting the link in both chats to the Titanic video. There was no mention of the fire in the hearings whatsoever in this video. It was just about the rivets.
All right, Sandy, can you say something now? I think I had to do something with your voice because you were sounding kind of robot-y.
No, you did not mess with it again, Brian. That's why it's turning robot-y. You can't mess with it. I have to leave and come back.
No, hang on. The
mess
only thing
with
I did was reduce the background noise.
You can't do that on, it doesn't work with an iPhone. I told you this last time. You're going to have to keep adjusting it over and over. I'm leaving. I'll be back.
No, it's fine. You're fine. You sound good now. Okay, I don't know. All right, so you heard that, guys. iPhone sucks. Anyway, a coal fire may have helped sink the Titanic. I have no memory of there being a uncontrolled fire in the 3-story tall coal bunkers. There was no mention of the fire when I saw the Titanic exhibition at the Franklin Institute in 2012 either. So this image shows the side of the Titanic warped and discolored from the searing heat of the uncontrolled fire as it arrived in the Belfast, the first leg of its maiden voyage. This Titanic museum shows the iceberg striking exactly where the fire had been burning for nearly a week. Wow. Sandy wanted to point out here the T's are cut off. I think Sandy's back. Okay, yeah, you're back, Sandy.
Yeah. Like I was saying, you cannot adjust the video with someone who's on an iPhone. Once you do, you'll have to keep readjusting it over and over and over. There's a bug in StreamYard.
Okay.
And like I was saying, I put the link to the video that Michael Fontaine sent me. It's like first-hand accounts and the court hearings after the Titanic sunk, when they were trying to investigate why it sank. And they didn't even mention the fire. It was just the rivets, they said. They believe it was just the rivets as to why it sank.
Yeah, so based on the investigations going back to 1912, none of this information should be new. We should have all known there was a massive fire on the Titanic and that the unsinkable ship actually sank, breaking in two because of a fire weakened the hull where the iceberg struck. Is this a Mandela for you? And bonus possible third reality. In 2019, Teresa noticed the color of the smokestacks, once red, are now yellow. And for the most part, they still are yellow. Residue of the red can still be found. Do any of you recall any other color besides red or yellow? So far, I haven't found anything official showing white smokestacks, but I'm finding art. People are remembering white, so I just want to make everyone aware. Keep your eyes open for white smokestacks, just in case. Red, yellow, white, and I can't. That's Sandy saying I can't. Officially, though, the smokestacks were buff, a mix of red and yellow, officially called White Star Pink.
Also White Star Buff. It's both names.
Yes. So, sorry for the grainy images. Let me see if I can zoom in here or make this bigger. So sorry for the grainy images. I didn't let it render properly due to screen capping it. I tried other slight variations.
You don't have to read it.
Okay.
I do want to let you know, though, you may have to refresh at the end of this. That video that Michael Fontaine sent had animations of the Titanic with this same color. They look pink now. They're pink. And that bottom image is real. That's a photograph of the Titanic on the bottom. Well, you're off the screen. Yeah, right there. That's a photograph of the Titanic when it was at the dock.
Wow.
They look pink now.
Interesting.
Apparently, they change color depending on like the date. Like if it was overcast, if it was bright and sunny, it looked different. And that's the main excuse why we remember yellow or red. Because at sunset, it looked red, and in overcast light, it looked buff.
No, I don't buy that.
And in daylight, it looked yellow.
So the discovery of the wreck in 1985, the film portrays the ship as sinking in one piece when in fact the Titanic broke into two pieces as it sank. This is because people did not believe that Titanic split. Even though survivors remember seeing the ship split, the White Star Line denied it as if it was true. The public would not think that the liners were structurally sound. So it wasn't just the iceberg that sank the Titanic. Survivor accounts. So Jay Dilley, the fireman on the Titanic, was the authority for a statement that a fire had been raging in the coal bunker since the day the Titanic left. See, 12 men had succeeded in making no headway against it, and the talk among the stokers. See, if there was a fire that large, don't you think they should have returned back home? You know, that's what it seems like. They would have waited a little bit longer before setting out again. I don't know. It doesn't seem safe, does it? So Titanic, fire and ice. Say fire was in progress. And it says here at the bottom right, in 1912, before the discovery of the Titanic wreck in 1985, it was a common belief that the ship went down in one piece. So that's the Mandela for me, that it went down in two pieces.
Same. Now,
Is it a
you
Mandela
don't have to
for you?
refresh. That's the image from the vid. Go back 1 second. That's the image from that video. I think the next slide is out of place. Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. Are you in the folder or are you in the camera roll?
I'm not sure. I think I'm in the folder.
Because you're going into another presentation, so I don't think you are. But this is the last one, so you want to exit out after this. But that's from the video Michael Fontaine sent. And you can clearly see that is not yellow or red.
All right. Next up, we have, I may be completely alone on this one, but I know it's wrong for me, so I'm asking you. What is the name of this flag? Wait, did we talk about this one? I think we talked about this one, no?
No, I talked to you about this one.
Okay.
Well, I talked about it on my channel, but not yours, I should say.
Yeah, the GAD _N flag. And it says, "Don't tread on me."
So
and by the way, this is at this time, Teresa, if you need to go, we'll let you go. We're not going to hold you to staying on the show if you have to go. Okay, Teresa?
Okay. All
I
right.
hope you have a good night. Thanks
Good
for
night.
coming on board.
Good night, Teresa.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night,
Teresa.
Good night.
So, guys,
Okay.
if you already said all this on my channel, just answer what you originally answered.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and move forward. When we get a couple, we got to get 2 answers, guys. Come on, we need 2 answers, and then we can move forward. Anybody?
General Sorrow is guessing O. Gadsden. Gadsen for Noise Guru, Gadsen. I'm trying to use my lighter as a flashlight because I'm in the dark. So if you hear clicking, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, and guys, we are doing the drawing at this time. So we're going to start
Just make
selecting.
the hashtag like.
Yeah, I'm making it just hashtag Mandela effect.
Okay. Or Mandela,
So-
just to make it easier on them.
Yeah, it's just hashtag Mandela effect, and you're entered in the drawing for a $10 Amazon gift card.
So, Jeff, do you want to read the chat? Can you see both chats? Because I can't.
I can only see one chat at a time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there's the giveaway. Like I said, we got 2 entries right now. It's going to keep going. We'll let it go on until the end of the show. So we'll have all the entries in. All right. So can we go ahead and move forward with this other
Yeah.
thing?
Go for
We have
it.
enough answers.
I only saw 2, but that's okay.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, two's good enough. So it was easy for me to remember this flag's name because of my stepdad's name was one letter off in spelling, but now there are 2 extra letters in the name. I remember Gadsen. See, there's residue for Gadsen, Gadsen flag.
Nice.
However, it's always been the Gadsden flag in this reality. Do you remember Gadsden? What do you think? There's 2 D's in there now. So weird looking. So Christopher Gadsden designed the flag, so he will be part of the residue. Had a grandson named James Gadsden, who is famous for something else. So we've all heard of the Louisiana Purchase, but have you ever heard of the Gadsden Purchase? Again, I have residue of the Gadsen Purchase and James Gadsen too. In fact, here's residue for the Gadsen flag. Gadsen flag, see? Gadsen flag residue. This is from a cigar company. Like, you don't put out. You generally got to keep your information right. So they would have said Gadsden if anything with a D, 2 D's. There's a "Don't Tread on Me" T-shirt, and where does it say?
Beneath.
Where?
Beneath it.
Oh, okay. Right beneath it says here, the Gadsen flag named after Christopher Gadsen, who designed it. So there's residue. So there's one here, the writings of Christopher Gadsden, but then it says Gadsen right here without the other D. So what do you guys think about this one? Pretty cool. This is another Mandela change with the name. It's a name change. The one that still gets me is the J.C. Penney changing from J.C. Penney with a Y to EY. That's an much older effect, but gives you the idea that people's names change. Anyway, Gadsen flag is residue here. Tons of residue, guys. Tons of residue. Gadsen flag. Savage American Woodwork, Gadsen flag right here, Gadsen flag design. Identifying the flags seen at the U.S. Capitol riots. The Gadsen flag with the words "Don't Tread on Me." Okay, guys, just to give you an update, we are at 11 entries. So Christopher Gadsen, founding principles here. Gadsen Purchase. But then over here it says Gadsden Purchase.
Yep. Listen, someone's asking about what the flag means. It was a Revolutionary War flag, and it was basically solidarity against the British. Like, the British Empire is not going to tread on us. We are going to survive and conquer and be our own nation. So that's what the flag meant. Except nowadays, people claim it's racist, which makes no sense. That just shows they have no idea what real history is, whether they were taught wrong or they just go by what they're told and sound like idiots.
There's literally...
Every American should be flying this flag. It's how we got our independence and became the United States of America. That's what this flag represents.
Yes.
Freedom.
And we are probably the most diverse nation on the planet, honestly. That's one thing that, like, you have people from all over the world that come here to America.
Because it's the only country in the world with absolute freedom. Well, it was. Not anymore.
Yeah, we still have certain inalienable rights and freedoms that we're given to under the Constitution of the United States. We're probably the greatest experiment in history, because all throughout history you had kings and queens that they were basically, they rose to power because they had that, like, divine blood or whatever, or and they were just chosen to rule, and they passed it down to their kids and everything. Well, this is, basically they inherited it, where we are able to vote and put people in power. We have that freedom to be able to do that. Anyway, so all right, so that concludes that folder. So we are we will have to be continued for the rest of the folders, Sandy, for next week. So just remember where we left off.
Are you serious? We're not going to do any of the new ones that I worked all day on?
Well, Sandy, it's 11 o'clock. I suppose we can extend for 15 minutes. That's what we'll do. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and announce the winner of the drawing. Okay, let's see who it is. Here we go. Wait, pushing buttons again? Hang on, let me pushing buttons one last time. Let me go ahead and pick draw again. Okay, sorry guys.
Brian, why don't you use it? Is there a different one? I wonder if it's.
No, it's random. It's supposed to be random.
Yeah, but if it's random, then pushing buttons won.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
pushing buttons
in that case,
won,
I
see?
won. But yeah, I'm trying to get someone new who hasn't won yet. You know what I mean? We'll go back through that cycle. Philo won. Has Philo won before? Philo, have you won before? Has Philo won, Sandy?
It doesn't matter who won before.
Okay.
Like I said, pushing buttons won. And if it's only picking peas, then you're using the wrong. You got to stop using this thing.
No, it claims it's random, so.
It claims it's random, but every week pushing buttons wins.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Since both of you, since File a Fire and pushing buttons won, I guess we have to do a draw. Wow. Yeah, pushing buttons won twice in a row. I think Noise Guru won twice in a row. Yeah, it would be only fair. Pushing buttons, yeah, I guess pushing buttons won. Wow.
I would use a different randomizer next time.
Well, I mean, this is random. We had 9 entries.
I thought there was 11.
Well, let me see. There was 11, and it went to 9, I think. All right. So I'll tell you what. Pushing buttons. Shoot me an email. Pushing buttons says give it to Philo. That's what pushing buttons said. Okay, but.
And Philo's saying give it another spin.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay. Let's do another spin. Come on,
But
guys.
I swear, if one of you win, you're going to take it, okay?
Exactly.
We're ordering you to take free money. Noise Guru!
Noise Guru! Wow. All right. So who won in this case?
Oh, it's so funny. It's the same 3 people. I feel bad for everyone else in the chat. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, I know the thing is, Noise Guru won also. Didn't Philo win one time? I thought she did.
They all won.
Yeah, they all won before. We got to get somebody new. Come on, guys.
No, Noise Guru won. Noise Guru.
This is so weird.
I have Noise Guru's email. Jose said the show is rigged.
All right.
And TV Mage says, "Yay, congrats to all dozen."
All right. Will one of you email me, okay? And we'll get that prize to you. You guys have my email. You should have it from last time.
DD74 says worse than a darn election. And Fragmania says it's air quotes random.
It's supposed to be random.
I don't think it is. I think it's messed up.
Oh man. Should we spin it one more time just for kicks?
Yeah, just guys. Now this one doesn't count. We're just seeing if it lands on Philo, pushing buttons, or Noise Guru. Go ahead, go.
What if it does again?
It's telling you it's
And
not.
if it does again, then it's rigged.
No, it's
Analog
analog
line.
lime. Okay, at least it's someone different.
At least it's someone. Yeah, it's someone different.
Maybe you should do a couple spins before putting it on the screen.
Well, I wanted everyone to see it.
No, I mean do a couple spins to make sure it's random before you show it. Before you do the
No,
spin
it's
live.
supposed to be random. They claim it's random on their website. This is a StreamYard tool.
Well, then pushing buttons, you need to play the lottery. You are extremely lucky.
Yeah, I know. Pushing
so are
buttons.
you, Philo, and so are you, Noise. All of you, go play the lottery.
All right, let's just say the next time we do this, if you have won before, well, I'm not going to say don't participate at all. I'm just saying, like, maybe, I don't know, we'll figure something out. Pushing buttons has, like, the best of luck with this, and so does Noise Guru.
Yeah.
You guys should
Yes,
play
analog
lottery.
line never won, and unfortunately, this whole thing has been an absolute mess.
Yeah, somebody says it's worse than the election.
It was DD74.
Who was it?
DD74.
Okay. All right, Sandy. We've got. You think we can cover 4 folders in 10 minutes or 5 minutes? We can try. Let's see. I'll do the reading because we'll try to go through some of these quickly. But as you can probably tell by now, animation in Disney was a big part of my life from childhood into my young adult years.
This is an old. No. Go to the new ones.
How many new ones are there?
There's 4 new ones.
Okay, we'll do the new ones then. So remember we left off at the Disney one, okay?
Yeah. So the logo and residue folder, Walmart 1 and 2, and then a new body change that everybody needs to see because I can't believe this. But the logo and residue folder has some good stuff in it.
Well, let me go back. You said it's 4 folders?
Yep.
All right, so this first one is about OSHA. This is just logos and residue. Did you see the OSHA logo, guys? How the H and the A is merged?
And the racket on the bottom is from the 1960s. It's a personalized racket, and for some reason, EXA is merged. Do you guys remember this company, Goodwin?
Yeah, Goodwin's got the G looking all weird like that, hanging out to the left side of the, like the hook from the G.
There is no information online about the company. It's like it's been erased. This is all I could find.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't remember that star shape on the eye.
Star shape on the eye, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a round, like a target.
Yep, Goya.
Has looked like this since at least 1980. you guys remember the G looking like this?
No, not with that cutout. No. It did not have the cutout. That looks like a C.
It's been like that since at least 1980.
No.
Nope. That looks
Sonic,
like...
when I was a kid, would show up routinely, sign me out of class, and take me for ice cream. It was always my favorite part of the week. I'm 35 now. When I went home for the holidays, Mom and I was talking about food memories from the past. I mentioned this. Suddenly, Mom looked at me horrified. Honey, he never did say that.
No, he never did that. So he said that he would routinely sign him out of class and take him out for ice cream. And his mom said he never did that. So he's this whole, like, years of memories of his dad taking him out for ice cream, signing him out of school. And the mom said it never happened. And the Sonic, the O is crooked.
Yes.
Like the doors. And the C is all messed up.
Sandy, you didn't give me credit for this one. I found this one years ago. The wonky O.
The C?
Yeah, well, the C and the O, wonky, yeah. But mainly the O. I pointed that out years ago.
Never noticed it, but the C is also, it's wrong. I can't describe it, it's wrong.
So
all right, so this was in a 1990 newspaper. The F's connected with a big line. But there's stars on top of the shield, so that's good.
And a Village People movie called Can't Stop the Music in 1980. And a Village People movie called Can't Stop the Music in 1980.
So even the movie forgot the sixth member.
Wow. Yeah, because there is a strange sixth member now. Notice how the letters are all merged too in this. So what was the sixth member? Was he an army guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
he looks like he was just randomly placed there. Like he doesn't belong.
Anytime you saw the Village People in concert, it would always be the five of them. I never noticed a sixth person.
Yeah, there was no sixth person.
So this clock has the numbers right side up like we remember. And the number 4.
Yep.
This is from Michael Fontaine's daughter, who remembers the red bar under the blue.
Yep. White feather and there's is in the beginning, but quote is not completely correct.
They forgot the word like.
Where?
In the title in the beginning of the clip.
Oh, life is like a box of chocolates, yeah.
So we got Budweiser here from Anheuser-Busch.
Pause.
So we got Budweiser here from Anheuser-Busch. So we got.
I'm just going to say it. When I covered Anheuser-Busch, because it's now spelled Huser, but I said I remember it spelled H-A-U when that whole thing happened on YouTube and stuff, and people were pronouncing it Anheuser, but I couldn't find any clips of people pronouncing it that way. Well, now I found clips.
It's not Anheuser. That looks weird.
Bud Lights with Anheuser-Busch reportedly.
Yeah, they say Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, but it's Anheuser.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's what I'm saying. They were pronouncing it Anheuser. And if you play the Sky News one again, you can see he's reading that. He like starts to say something else and squints and says Anheuser. He was reading an AU. At the time, it was Hauser.
Tony the Tiger with the black nose, like we remember.
So thank you to If I Knew Then What I Know Now for the great catch in my video. I'm not done reading it. There's more to it. Tony the Tiger is a black nose like we remember in the commercial I used. It's still not on the screen. I can't read it. There we go. That great catch made me look closer, and I realized his hands are orange like I remember too, and the scarf doesn't have Tony written on it. So there's 3 things the way we remember it in this one image.
Yep, Sandy, we have exceeded our time. Let me finish up this folder, okay? Hey, wait, so what are we talking about here with Sonic? What is this thing here with Sonic?
I don't know.
Let's see. My theory. This is your theory. Explain your theory, Sandy.
Oh, I'm not explaining my theory now. I'm just saying that if you guys saw my theory, this is how I believe we shift. I don't know if you can zoom in on that a little bit better. So, zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. I can't see the bottom of the image. All right, so there's a red line going across. Like I said, that I believe we shift to different Earths, that we're on an earlier version of Earth. I believe we shift that way, and we shift timelines at the same time with each Earth. So I think visually, I believe this is how we shift. And I believe that my ears are ringing when I go on the red line. And we're constantly moving with the yellow line. I think that's why we have so many Mandela effects popping up. At least I see so many of them. It's because I'm constantly moving on that yellow line. But the massive ones happen when we go on the red line.
It honestly looks like you spelled out the word risk. It looks like risk, doesn't it? Or something. I see the word risk, and that's being spelled out here.
I see R-A-R-W, roar.
Either that, or it looks like a giant octopus, like reaching its tentacles up or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it for that folder. So at this point, I'll make a note of where we ended up, and we will return. We'll revisit this. So did we figure out who won the contest actually? Sandy?
It was Analog Lime, wasn't it?
Yeah, Analog Lime was new to it. So let me, Analog Lime, if you're still there, email me Mandela Effect Awareness at gmail.com. I want everybody to have a chance to participate and win the contest. All right, that concludes our show, guys. We will see you next week. Have a great and awesome weekend, and God bless. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Sandy, for always giving us good information on this Mandela effect.
I'm going live on my channel now, guys. So come over to my channel. I'll be there soon.